Look at this above my head. This is the 2030 apportionment forecast, which will be based off the 2030 census. So this is predicting if states will increase in electoral votes, decrease in electoral votes, or stay the same. If you pay attention, every single state that's decreasing in electoral votes is blue. Essentially, every state that's green is either red or trending red. You can argue or debate about Georgia, but my overall point still stands. This is terrifying for Democrats, and I'll explain why. This is also likely why Joe Biden let in millions upon millions of illegal immigrants and why we've seen Democrats fighting us so hard to enforce our immigration laws and deport these illegal immigrants. So three things are converging at once right now. The first one is people are moving from blue states to red states. The only reason California has been seeing consistent population gains is due to international migration to California. Americans are moving out of California to red states. And again, why is this important? Because of apportionment. So let's take this a step back and let's just talk about off the jump when it comes to presidential elections. Electoral votes. Republicans start at an advantage when it comes to electoral votes, meaning there are more solid red states than there are solid blue states. So depending on how you look at it, Republicans start with around a 240 electoral vote baseline before the election even really begins. That's baked in. Democrats start with around a 200 to 210 electoral vote baseline. Republicans already have the advantage there, and that's essentially just off the rip. So let's think about this. I'm going to go back a little bit. First thing, Republicans already have a baked in advantage when it comes to the Electoral College. They already start closer to 270 than Democrats do. Again, this is based off of solid red states versus solid blue states. Now here's the second thing. Individuals are moving out of blue states and moving to red states, which then in 2030, from then on, for the next 10 years, it will increase red states' electoral vote baseline. So once 2030 starts, the advantage for Republicans will even be larger. Now let's add the third thing, which is voter registration. Democrats are losing a ton of voters. Independents are gaining a ton of voters at Democrats' expense, and Republicans are gaining in voter registration. So now let's add those three things. Democrats have a lower baseline when it comes to electoral votes. The census shifts are going to lower their baseline even further when it gets to 2030. And they're having registration issues. They're losing voters. What is one way to offset this? Immigration. Remember, the census counts bodies, not citizens. So when Trump is deporting immigrants, this is harming Democrats because, again, they want to have a bunch of illegal immigrants in this country because it helps them protect the structure. They don't want to lose electoral votes. Well, if people are moving out of their states, what's the way they can increase their population? Import people. They don't want their baseline when it comes to electoral votes lowered. Again, import people. This is essentially one of the most effective ways they can fight back to stop the underlying structure from changing that would disadvantage them even further. This is why they're fighting us enforcing our immigration laws so aggressively, because it is existential for them in many ways. And this is why you see panic, moral absolutism, apocalyptic language like the world's coming to an end. It's also why you see total refusal to compromise. They hide all of this behind morality and compassion. But in reality, they're just trying to preserve their power. And having a bunch of illegal immigrants in this country is a way they can do that. It allows them to still somewhat be competitive. Because when you stack all these things up, it's kind of brutal. Think about it. Republicans already have an advantage when it comes to electoral votes. Democrats are losing citizens to red states, which is going to increase Republicans' advantage even further when it comes to electoral votes, apportionment, Congress, etc. On top of that, there are more people registering Republican than Democrat, so they're losing the voter registration battle at the moment. But one of the ways to offset this is to have a bunch of immigrants in their states. So again, Democrats are not just being compassionate out of the goodness of their heart for all these illegal immigrants. They're using emotion to manipulate people into helping them preserve a structure that keeps them somewhat in power. Or they want to stop the structure from eroding their power. Either way, again, it's not about compassion. It's not about being kind out of the goodness of their heart. It's about federal power. And I just sent out an article about this to my Substack subscribers probably like an hour ago, explaining this in more detail. So in the future, if you want emails like this into your inbox that really help inform and kind of give you a perspective on things that are happening, the link is in my profile. Go to my profile, click that link, drop your email in, hit subscribe, and you'll be good to go. If you do really want to see the article that I wrote, you can go to my Substack. Just download the app, go to Substack, type in my name, and it's the most recent article I wrote, and then you can read it. This is the article. When you click it, it'll look like this. You can pause to read if you want. But when you land on my profile, this is what it will look like. So yeah, like I said, links in bio if you want to subscribe to my email newsletter. That's all I got for now, guys. I'll see you in the next one.